Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Pat's Train Show. Today's video is going to be how I built this Indiana, Ohio locomotive, 4432. It's an AC 44.9W Athearn model. So my eyes have got a little bit better, I think, so I finally got to finish it up. So, but this is the video on how I built it, adds some details and stuff. So I hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, today we'll be repainting this locomotive here. It's an Athearn C 44.9W, I believe. This is a ready to run Athearn model, one of the newer ones. It's got these little clips on it. So we're going to repaint it to Indiana and Ohio 4432. So that's basically what it looks like. It's a little different than this one. This one's got number boards down here. And this one's got them up above the windows, I think. Yeah. So this one's going to get repainted too. I just got to get some parts for it. I need fuel tank covers, side truck cover. It's missing one of those. Other than that, it's pretty much all complete except for the handrails, which I can make those. And this one will be like Indiana and Ohio 4089 or 87, I think, when I get the parts. So, and I don't know, this is a ready run model too. So, but I got this one all tore apart, and with the ready to run models, I tried stripping it in 91% alcohol and it wouldn't strip it. Or it wouldn't strip the paint off of it like it does on like the blue box models. So I just cleaned it really well and a couple light coats of primer. This was I believe a Santa Fe unit. So I just cleaned it really well and primered over everything and hit it all pretty good. So, and then I got the rest of the parts in the box here. Let's see. I got the chassis and the motor. I took it all apart. And trucks and drive shafts and everything like that. And the handrails are in there. I'll probably use brass handrails, but I'll use the uprights. So, all the extra parts in here. So it ran. I just wanted to take it apart. I'm gonna give it a good cleaning when I put it back together, and I'll put a LED headlight in it also. So what we're gonna do is paint this, and I start out with my first color, which is Folk Art acrylic paints. It's just pure orange, I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it in my airbrush, mix it like half paint, half the center. Shoot it probably 4, 5, 6 coats until I get good coverage. And then I think it's black on the roofs. I think it's got some black up here on the front of the hood. And we'll do the walkways black, and I think the front and the rear and down the sides here will be yellow, if I remember right. And then I got the decals, you know, Indiana, Ohio on the sides in this area here, and the front and the back, I think, and then the black stripes, and then the road numbers and all that. So it takes quite a bit of different decals to decal Indiana, Ohio, and I think I got all of them to do it. So now I got this all ready for the orange, and I'll just do the orange. I'll probably brush paint the roof black, I think. I may tape it off. We'll see. It's a lot of tape off probably. So I ain't decided, but we're going to airbrush the orange at least. And they've got a few of these locomotives on their on the line now, and they've just now they have like a still in the original paint schemes from where they've got them at. So they're just now starting to paint them into Indiana and Ohio colors. So they've only done a couple, I think, so far. And I think I'm going to get me a couple for my layout of the newer ones. So, but I'm going to go over here and airbrush this with the orange, and then I'll show you. Alright everybody, I got this thing painted the first color of orange. So Once I clear this orange, it'll look a lot better, I think. So I did about 6 or 7 passes on each one of these pieces here of the orange. So now I just gotta tape it off and do the black, which the tops are black. Top of the cab, I think. Then the top of the hood's black. And I gotta fill those 2 little holes in there before I do the black. So, yep, fill those 2 little holes. I think that's all I gotta do. So I'll do the black, and then I think what's to get yellow down on the bottom, and then the front and the rear gets the yellow. That I'll probably just hand paint. I'll do a couple coats instead of taping everything off and wasting a bunch of that tape just to do that. I'll just brush paint those probably, and then start decaling and clear it and decal it. So, all right, everybody. If you've ever wondered how I keep, how I can remember what colors to use, since I do so much repainting, you know, on what colors I use for certain things. Well, I've got my little handy dandy, look, General Motors little folder here, and I've got a list of like the different locomotives and stuff I've done, different paint colors, like the, let's see, we'll just go to the, I got Indiana, Ohio new paint scheme. So you got black tops, and it's got the what paint I usually use. The paint, like Anita's black, and then apple barrel yellow for the bottom, and then Folk Arc pure orange. Number 628 is what we just sprayed on there. So whenever I want to do another locomotive of this paint scheme, I have the colors written down in my little book here, so they all match, you know. I don't have to be guessing all the time. And I've got like my Cincinnati Eastern colors down there, and let's see, the PTS and Ohio colors, which is pretty much the same as the V&O colors I use. And then my landmark cars I just did a while back. I wanted to do some more of those in the future, so I wrote the colors down on those. And then I got all my River Rossi colors and that I used for certain River Rossi locomotives, like their Tennessean and Royal Blue and all kinds of stuff. And also another thing I keep in my little booklet here is all these right here. Since I built a lot of those River Rossi custom locomotives or whatever, these are the side skirts. So, you know, for the locomotives, like this one here is for, I think, the Vanderbilt, maybe. And then there's the Crusader and the Tennessean and all them. So whenever I built a custom locomotive and made side skirts, I always made it like a template, and I keep them all in here. That way, if I need to build another one, I just use this, trace it out on another piece of styrene, cut it out, boom, done. No guessing work. So if anybody out there does a lot of repaints and stuff, this is a good way to keep your colors. That way you remember what colors are for what train cars or locomotives or, you know, whatever. So I just keep a big old list. So I do a lot of Indiana, Ohio's and stuff like that, and I've built a couple Tennesseans and stuff. So like the Crusader, I've got 2 of those now, so I went back and just used the same colors. I didn't have to remember anything, I got it all wrote down. So if you guys do a lot of repainting, that might help you out a little bit. So we'll get back to this locomotive. I thought I would just share that with you. All right, here's the progress I've been making on this locomotive here. Put the black painted on there, and I've been painting the yellow. Freehand painting that with a little brush around the bottom. I still got to do some more back here. So got the black all done. Got some dirt on there, and then the cab. Got the nose of the cab done there. The roof. The roof on this one has like it's like a white, grayish, light gray, whitish color. I believe, on the roof of this one, and another one I'm getting ready to do has that same color on that roof too. So I try to match it pretty close to some paint colors. So it's just a real light gray with some white mixed to it, and I think it was looking pretty good. Then I added sun visors. I still got to paint those. So, and then I had to fill in some of the holes on the front of the hood here. I had some grabs, and they were like the wrong style grabs, so I may make some new ones and re-drill some new holes for that. And let's see. So that's about it right at the moment. It's looking pretty good. Like I said, I'm working on the yellow at the moment, so we got to finish doing the yellow around the bottom here and the front there. I still got to paint the rear one though. Do that one here in a minute. And then I think there'll be some white on the front of each one of these steps. That's always fun. And I wonder how I put the white on small areas like that. Let's see if I can find my little brush here. This little thing right here. I don't know if you can see it. It isn't a brush. It's just a metal tip with like a real small round tip on it. And it's for like making dots. For like on fingernails, I think. That's what they use it, just putting dots as designs. So what I do is just dip it in paint and just put on that step and just pull that paint right across there. Just dab it on there with this. I don't use a brush or nothing. Just one of these little things. Gets right down in them nice little tight spots. Really good. So I'll do the front edge of each one of those stairs like that. And there's four sets of them, so, or 4 of them. So it'll take me a few minutes to do that. I guess it's just a lot easier to use this than as a brush. So I came with that kit I got. I had all those nail painting brushes and stuff, and they come in real handy for things. So, but let me finish painting the yellow around the bottom of this thing, and get that white on them edges of the steps, and see if there's anything else. But I'll have to look at the pictures, and then clear coat and decaling. So, all right, I got this locomotive all painted. And I got a couple light coats of clear coat over it. So I got the black and then the whitish color for the roof. Did the sun visors orange, the body. And added some of those details. Those grabs to the front, and then put new ones up here on the hood. And I got all the yellow painted and the white for the steps there on both sides. And the back. And let's see here. I drilled it out for hand grabs on the back here, but I've thought I would put the hand grabs on after I decal it, which I should have probably did to the front of the cab. I should have waited to put those on, because it might be in the way of putting the decals on, so that might be a pain in the butt. But I went ahead and left the back ones off. So they're drilled out. I just got to make them, paint them, stick them in. So after it's decaled, and then the other side. So I said I'll get 2 black stripes, Indiana and Ohio badges on the sides, I believe one on the back, one on the front, and then the road number, then the IORY, and a couple other decals. This is it'll take me a bit to decal this one because it's multi decals. So also on the roof of the cab here, I added the air conditioner box or whatever those are. I'm not sure. And then there was I noticed in one of the pictures it had like these little ribs up on top. So I just glued some styrene on there. That looked about right size and everything, and painted it white with the top. So, and I think that's all ready for decals now. So now I'll get ready to start decaling it. So I still think I need to paint rear number boards maybe. I was trying to find pictures of this locomotive, and I couldn't tell if it had the numbers on the back or not. I don't think it did from the pictures I've seen, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna double check. That's why I didn't paint them yet. So I'm gonna look into some more pictures, see if I can find a good picture of the back side of this locomotive, or one similar to it, and see how it is. So got plenty of pictures of the sides and the front, just not the backs. So looking pretty good, I think. So we'll get started on the decal now. It's going to take a bit to put all those different decals on. It'll be multi-steps, because I'll start with the stripes and get those all on, and I'll have to let them dry overnight, because some of the other decals will kind of go over top of those decals. So you have to let them dry all the way before you add the other decals over top of it, or they'd be just moving around and everything, and you don't want to do that. So just got to take your time and do it nice and slow, one step at a time. So we'll get started on that. Alright everyone, this is what I've got decaled. I've just got the one side done, just finished it up just a few minutes ago. So I'm going to let it dry all night before I flip it over and do the other side. When I started doing, this is a multiple decals that I used to get this all decaled. So I started out with black stripes first. Started out with the bottom stripe, wrapped it all the way around. I just did it in short sections, you know, some small pieces, longer pieces. I didn't just do one big long one. It's sometimes a little harder, sometimes to work with big longer ones. Then the shorter ones, just do short pieces at a time, let it dry for a few minutes, then just keep going and overlap them a little bit. Sometimes that's easier because the surfaces, you know, with all the details and stuff. So that's what I did. Did the bottom one first, let it dry overnight. Did the top one the next day, let it dry overnight, and then added the other decals, like the badge here, it goes over top the black stripe. So you gotta let them dry in between each one. That way when you go to put the other decal over top of it, it's let dried, laid down good over the details, and nothing moves around. So I just let them dry before I go to the next step. And then, like right here, the IORY goes over top the black stripe, and you see the front badge goes over both of them. So then I put some white highlight on the hand grabs there, and then for the last one I added was the numbers, the 4432, and my original numbers I was going to use for this were too small, that I used on the other Indiana and Ohio locomotives. So I had to dig up some larger ones, which I found in my stash of decals I got over there. And these were very old decals, so I had to clear coat them before I applied them, because I tried it and the first one just fell apart. So I was just light coat of clear over them, let them dry all night, and then I just put them on this morning, and now I'm gonna let those dry. So, but the clear I used when I clear the decals, I always use the same clear that I've used on the locomotive, which is that Rust-Oleum matte finish that I always use. That's my favorite one. So it doesn't really have much shine or anything to it. It looks good. And a lot of people say you have to use, like, with a gloss clear for the decals to adhere good, and I don't know. I just use the matte finish all the time and not ever had a problem of any of them ever adhering to it. So now all I do is let this side dry all night and then start the other side. I'll show you the other side with the stripes. It's just got stripes on it. So pretty straight. So I just did them in short sections and just work my way around. I started out with the front. Got the front lined up where it should be according to the pictures of the original one, the prototype, and just worked my way all the way around and around the back. Now on the back, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the number boards on the back or not, because some of these locomotives I was trying to find pictures of. The one I found a picture of the rear, and it doesn't have the I&O badge, but it has number boards down on this side here, down low, and this one's got them up top, it looks like. So I don't know, I may just wait off on that. I can always add them later, but I'm trying to find the rear picture of this locomotive. Found the other locomotives that are similar, but not this one. So I might just have to take a trip out to the old railroad and see if I can get a picture of it sometime. Or I know Joel Tooth has a lot of his videos, does some Indiana and Ohio too, and I'm not sure if he's captured this one or not. I'm gonna have to look around and see. But I think it's looking pretty good. So like I said, I'll just let it dry all night. And that's the biggest thing. You can't get in a hurry with decaling if you want it to look good. Just take your time, a little bit every day if you have to. Because if you sit down and do it all in one day, then stuff will move around, not dry right, and then when you flip it over and it can move and just be a big hassle. Why do more work than you have to? Just do a little bit at a time if you ain't in a big hurry, which I never am. It might be a couple days before I come back and work on it. It depends on what I got going on. But luckily my eyes and the help of some magnifying glasses and stuff like that and good light, I've been able to see to do this much so far. So I've been working on this locomotive. I started it right before my eyes got real bad. They got bad real quick, seems like. So I guess they're good enough to apply these decals. It's hard, but it's better than they were, I think. I think about a month or so ago I was trying to do a little painting on this, and I had one heck of a time just trying to paint this locomotive. And it's pretty basic, you know, taping off and touching up and all that. I had one heck of a time, but I made it through the decals so far, so hopefully something is getting better. And I'll come back when I get the other side decaled. Probably be another couple days. I've been working on this for a good while, but hopefully I can still get enough to get these locomotives done, because I have a lot more I want to do. I love building these things, so, and train cars and everything. So I'll show you the other side when I get it done. Alright, I got all the decals on. Got the IORY, the road number 4432, the stripes, badge on the front. The other side, and then I got my hand grabs on the back there. So on these number boards up here, these turned out to be garbage, so I went ahead and numbered them with decals, but they didn't. I went to clear them, and I guess one of the numbers was loose and kind of blew around a little bit, so it doesn't look right. So the front ones I couldn't even do because they're just weird. They were kind of small or something, I don't know. I just couldn't get the decals to set in there right. So I just took a piece of real thin styrene, real thin stuff here, and just made my own number boards and decaled it. And then when it dries, I'll cut them out, or I'll clear them, then I'll cut them out and just glue them on. That way I know they look good. So, and I'll just where I redid it, I'll just glue it right over top of those back ones, because I already clear coated this after I decaled it. I let it dry all night, and then put a coat clear on there, a couple light coats. So, and then I put my grabs in, painted them, and then let them dry and pushed them in all the way, and then just did the edges white, and then just super glued them on the inside. I still got to cut off the excess. So it's looking pretty good, and I'm gonna let these dry all night and cut them out and then glue them on, and then go to doing the handrails and doing the chassis. Once I get the handrails done, the chassis should be easy. Just I've got it all taken apart, so I'm just gonna give it a regular good cleaning and some fresh oil and grease and stuff. And then I got to paint the frame, the tank of the frame there, and side trucks. Got to make sure they're all black. So, but I'll just probably paint that with a brush or something, and then just put a coat of clear over it. So I'll get started on these handrails, get these glued on tomorrow, and I think that's it. Once it's all final coat clear, and then I'll put the glass in. So, and one other thing, I'm missing the horn for it. I thought I had some, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to order some, and then when I get them in, I'm gonna have to add it later. So, but we can live without a horn for a little while. Alright, I got the shell pretty much finished. I got the handrails all on. I just used the original Athearn handrails that came with this kit. So there's metal. So I put them all on, and then brush painted them by hand. Had to paint them yellow, and then around some of the grabs there on the ends white. And then I got my number boards I made and put back on. They look a lot better, I think. So, and then I final coat. After I got all that's done, I put another coat of clear on it. Also added a plow to the front of it. I had a couple plastic ones over here. I'm not sure where they came from, but that's the same style of plow that would have been on this locomotive. So, got lucky there. Normally I don't put those on there just because I run into problems with them on my railroad over here. But I thought it would look really good with this on there, so I added it. And number boards on the front. And I had to make these little grabs that go on the front of the cab here. I don't think I had those, so I had to make some of those and put them on. So the only thing left to do to the shell is add a horn when I get one. Put the glass in, the clear plastic in for the glass and the cab. So I'll do that here in a little while. And like these shrouded areas here where the vents are and stuff, I'm going to get some weathering chalk and kind of darken those in so they'll pop out and kind of highlight those areas. I'm not really going to do any dirtying or any weathering on the locomotive itself, because this locomotive here is just a fresh repaint that they did earlier back this year. So it still looks really nice. So not going to get crazy and do any weathering on that. Just darken up those shrouds and vents and stuff so they kind of pop out a little better. And that's it for that. So then I'm going to take the frame, paint that thing black. Might give it a little coat of primer. I'd tape off a couple spots, and then probably light coat of primer. And then the side truck covers, wheel covers, or whatever you want to call them. Got to paint those black because they were silver originally, I think, on this, or gray, silver or gray, originally on this locomotive. This was, I think, a Santa Fe one, wasn't it? I think's what it was. It's been so long, can't remember. But yeah, that's it. Just paint the frame. Well, some of the frame. Got to paint the tank area. Probably paint the undersides here in case it, so it looks good. Don't see none of that color there. I'm not going to worry about this side of it, but get around the tanks here on both sides and all that. And then I got to clean it, grease it, oil it, put it back together, add a headlight. I'm going to put an LED in it. So what I did with this locomotive is got the headlights right there. Originally they were just filled in plastic, solid plastic. It didn't have an original light coming through there, so I'm going to add an LED in there and get the lights to come through there. Now the original prototype one of these has ditch lights, which I can make ditch lights, but man, are they a pain. So I'm not even going to go there today. So and I can't see it all that great. I'm lucky to got this much done. So I just didn't do the ditch lights, but I did drill those two little lights out, and I'm gonna try to get the LED in there. So the light there. It's also got those on the rear. I was thinking about drilling them out and doing that, but I was like, that's not really worth my time because I ain't never going to run it backwards and use them. So, I mean, you get crazy and do that, and I've done it on other locomotives, but this one, nah, not going to worry about it. So, like I said, I just put LED in there. And then I'm going to get these all painted. I'm going to clean the motor and everything, get it all back together, and go from there. Alright, I got the chassis all put back together and cleaned and greased and oiled and all that good stuff. Got it all wired for LED. So there's the LED. I got it right about the location where the headlights are going to be. Just put that. Pretty simple to do. I don't have any of that liquid electrical tape. It dried up on me. I gotta get some more, so I had to use good old-fashioned electrical tape, which I don't like using too much because it's sometimes hard to work with and doesn't stick too good. But it's gonna work, I guess. Hooked the LED up to where the original light went. This is the front of the locomotive. The original light bulb went there. There's a little metal piece that comes up off the frame. So I soldered the wire, or the lead off the LED that has the resistor on it, to that little piece there that's mounted to the frame. And then the other lead, I just ran back and soldered it to the top of the truck where the other wires meet here. So it'll come on when it's going in forward, but in reverse it'll be off. So, and I like to solder them, to hook them, use that little wire, or that little original light bulb holder that Athearn has on there, because it gives you something to mount the LED to. So what I did was got that on there, wrapped it with electrical, or soldered a wire to it, then wrapped it with electrical tape, and then took that wire and ran it to the resistor side of the LED. And then, like I said, took the other side of the LED and ran it back to there, soldered it in. So, and tested it, and it comes on when it's going forward. So this is all ready to go now, I think. So next thing is I got to put the glass, put the windows in the cab of the locomotive, and then put the chassis in. I got all my side trucks here, covers. I got those all painted too and all ready to go. And then put the chassis in the cab, or in the shell, and put the side truck covers on and the couplers. And I think that'll be it. So let me get this back together here. Alright, I got this thing done here. Got it all put back together. Got the windows put in. And the couplers put on. So, also did put that black chalk in those grill areas, or whatever, the shrouds, or whatever you want to call them. So, looks pretty good, I think. Now we'll take it over to the layout, put some cars behind it, and see how it runs. Alright, I got it on the layout here. I'm going to run it with, I think, 7 of the Indiana and Ohio rock car hoppers that I built a while back. And also got the Indiana and Ohio caboose that I built. So I never really had one, but I thought it'd be cool to build one. So we'll run it around here a little bit. And I'm going to run some other trains with it too. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video on how I made the Indiana, Ohio 4432 locomotive. It's one of the newer style locomotives they have on their roster now. Just repainted it back earlier this year. They've got a few other ones. I'll probably make a few of the other ones eventually, I think. But I have another one I want to redo. I think it's GP 38-2 or GP 40. It's one that's in Lancaster now. I'm going to redo. I have a locomotive to do that one. But this is just an old Athearn model. I think it's one of the ready-to-run kits. It's pretty much just like a blue box. So it's an older kit. But we added some details to it, custom paint, custom decals and all that. And this thing ran really good. It's nice and quiet, nice slow speed operation and everything. Got the LED in it and everything. And ran it with the old some rock cars that I built about a year or so ago. But I really like these Athearn models just because they're easy to get parts for, run really well. So you can add some details to them, make them look a little better, which I did with the hand grabs and sun visors and stuff. And it's still missing the horn. I'll have to get the horn and put on it. And I'm going to need some more horns and a few other parts for some of the other locomotives anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put my order in here in a little while and get some parts. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.